Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Fixing Activex component can't create object error, a comprehensive guide. The Activex component can't create object error is a common headache in Windows environments, particularly when dealing with applications that rely on older technologies like vbscript, ASP, or even legacy software. It signifies that your application is failing to instantiate a specific Activex object, preventing it from executing its intended functionality. This error can stem from a multitude of reasons, making it frustrating to diagnose. This tutorial will provide a structured approach to diagnosing and resolving this error, focusing on the most common causes and providing code examples where applicable. We'll break down the process into 3 main steps, each addressing a different aspect of the problem. Before we begin, understanding the fundamentals. Activex components. These are reusable software components that applications can use to perform specific tasks. They're typically packaged as .dll or .ocx files. Examples include controls for interacting with the file system, databases, or even web browsers. *com Component Object Model. Activex components are built on the component object model, COM. COM defines how these components are registered and accessed by applications. *CLSID, class identifier. Each Activex component is identified by a unique CLSID, a globally unique identifier, GUID. This CLSID is stored in the Windows registry and is used by applications to locate and instantiate the component. *ProgID, programmatic identifier. A human-readable name associated with an Activex component, making it easier to refer to in code, example Excel.application. The ProgID maps to the CLSID in the registry. Why does this error occur? Several factors can contribute to the Activex component can't create object error. Component not registered. The Activex component hasn't been properly registered in the Windows registry. Permissions issues. The user account running the application lacks the necessary permissions to access the component or the registry entries. Missing dependencies. The Activex component relies on other DLLs or components that are missing or outdated. Corruption. The Activex component itself or its associated registry entries might be corrupted. Incorrect bitness. Your application, example a 32-bit script, might be trying to load a 64-bit Activex component, or vice versa. Security restrictions. Security settings, example user account control, UAC, might be preventing the component from being loaded. Antivirus/firewall interference. Security software might be blocking the component's execution. Path issues. The application is unable to locate the DLL or OCX file for the component. Now, let's dive into the 3 steps to fix this error. Step 1, Component Registration Check and Repair. This is the most common solution. We'll ensure that the Activex component is correctly registered in the Windows registry. 1. Identify the component ****. Examine the error message carefully. It often contains the CLSID or ProgID of the component that's failing to load. If the error message only provides a generic error, you'll need to analyze your application's code to identify which Activex component it's trying to create. Look for lines of code that use createObject, in vbscript, or similar methods in other languages. 2. Locate the Activex component file ****. Once you have the CLSID or ProgID, try searching the Windows registry, using regedit.exe, for the corresponding file path. Open regedit.exe, run as administrator. Asterisk press Ctrl plus F to open the Find dialog. Asterisk enter the CLS ID or PROG ID into the Find box. Make sure keys, values, and data are checked. Asterisk press Find Next. Asterisk if you find a key related to the component, look for a value named in proc server 32. This value typically contains the full path to the component's DLL or OCX file. Asterisk if you cannot find the component in the registry, this is a strong indication that it is not registered. 3. Re-register the Activex component asterisk asterisk. Asterisk open a command prompt as an administrator. This is crucial, as registration usually requires elevated privileges. Asterisk use the regsvr32 command to register the component. The syntax is: replace path \to \your component.dll with the actual full path to the component's DLL or OCX file. Make sure to include the quotes, especially if the path contains spaces. For example, asterisk if the component is 64-bit and you are using a 64-bit operating system, it is generally fine to register using the standard regsvr32 command. However, if you are using a 32-bit application on a 64-bit system, you may need to use the 32-bit version of regsvr32. This version is located in the C/Windows/SYSWOW64 directory. Asterisk a successful registration will display a dialog box confirming the registration. Asterisk if you encounter an error during registration, such as module load failed or access denied, it indicates problems with the component itself, dependencies, or permissions, which we'll address later. 4. Code example, vbscript, demonstrating object creation after registration. Explanation asterisk. Asterisk on error resume next. This is crucial for gracefully handling the error if the object creation fails. Asterisk create object, your component.your object, this attempts to create an instance of the Activex object. Replace your component.your object with the correct proc ID. Asterisk if error.number 0 then, this checks if an error occurred during object creation. Asterisk wscript.echo, displays messages to the user, in this case, in a message box. Asterisk set obj equals nothing, releases the object from memory. Always a good practice. Asterisk on error go to 0, re-enables default error handling. Step 2, permissions and security checks. If re-registering the component doesn't resolve the issue, the problem might be related to permissions or security settings. 1. Check user account permissions asterisk asterisk. Asterisk the user account running the application needs sufficient permissions to access the Activex component's DLL or OCX file and its associated registry entries. Asterisk file permissions asterisk right-click on the DLL or OCX file, select Properties, go to the Security tab, and ensure that the user account, or a group the user belongs to, has read and execute permissions. In some cases, modify permissions may be required, especially if the component writes to the file or its directory. Asterisk registry permissions asterisk you'll need to grant permissions to the registry keys associated with the Activex component. This is more advanced and should be done with caution. Asterisk open regedit.exe. Asterisk locate the CLS ID or proc ID key. Asterisk right-click on the key and select permissions. Asterisk add the user account, or a group, and grant the necessary permissions. Typically read and full control may be required in specific situations. 2. User account control, UAC, issues asterisk asterisk. Asterisk UAC can sometimes interfere with Activex component loading. Try running the application, or the script that's trying to create the object, as an administrator. Right-click on the application's executable or script file and select Run as Administrator. * Temporarily disabling UAC, not recommended for long-term use, can help determine if it's the source of the problem. You can adjust UAC settings in the control panel. Search for UAC. 3. Internet Explorer Security Settings, if the Activex component is used in a web page. If the Activex component is being used in a web page displayed in Internet Explorer, the security settings might be blocking its execution. Open Internet Explorer. Go to Tools-Internet Options. Select the Security tab. Choose the zone where the web page is located, usually Internet or local intranet. Click Custom Level. In the Security Settings dialog, look for the Activex Controls and Plugins section. Ensure that options like Download Signed Activex Controls, Download Unsigned Activex Controls, Initialize and Script Activex Controls not marked as safe for scripting, and Run Activex Controls and Plugins are enabled or set to prompt. Be aware that enabling these options can increase security risks. 4. Data Execution Prevention, DEP. DEP is a security feature that helps prevent malicious code from running. In some cases, it can interfere with legitimate Activex components. You can try adding the application or script to the DEP exception list. Use with caution. Right-click on this PC, or my computer, and select Properties. Click on Advanced System Settings. Go to the Advanced tab. In the Performance section, click Settings. Select the Data Execution Prevention tab. Choose Turn on DEP for all programs and services except those I select. Click Add. And browse to the executable of the application or script. Step 3. Dependency Analysis and Troubleshooting. If the previous steps haven't resolved the issue, the problem might lie in missing or corrupted dependencies of the Activex component. 1. Dependency Walker, Dependency Analysis Tool. Dependency Walker is a free utility that can analyze a DLL or OCX file and show all of its dependencies, other DLLs, OCXs, etc. It can help you identify missing or corrupted dependencies. Download Dependency Walker from a reputable source, example search for Dependency Walker on the web. Run Dependency Walker. Open the Activex component's DLL or OCX file. Dependency Walker will display a hierarchical view of all the dependencies. Look for dependencies that are marked as missing or that have error icons. These indicate problems that need to be resolved. 2. Reinstall the Activex component, or the application that installs it. A clean reinstall of the Activex component or the application that installs it can often resolve dependency issues. Uninstall the application, if applicable, through the control panel. Download the latest version of the application or Activex component from the vendor's website. Reinstall the application or component. 3. System File Checker, SFC. The System File Checker, SFC, is a Windows utility that can scan and repair corrupted system files. It might help if the problem is related to corrupted system DLLs. Open a command prompt as an administrator. Run the command sfc/scano. SFC will scan your system files and attempt to repair any problems it finds. 4. Examine the event viewer ***. The event viewer can provide valuable information about errors and warnings that are occurring on your system. Check the event viewer logs, especially the application and system logs, for any entries related to the Activex component or the application that's trying to use it. Look for error messages or warnings that might give you clues about the cause of the problem. 5. Check for conflicting software ****. Sometimes, other software installed on your system can conflict with Activex components. For example, certain antivirus programs, firewalls, or security software might be interfering with the component's execution. Try temporarily disabling any security software to see if it resolves the problem. If it does, you'll need to configure the security software to allow the Activex component to run. 6. Consider bitness mismatch, 32-bit versus 64-bit. This is a very common problem. If you're running a 32-bit application, example a 32-bit vbscript interpreter, on a 64-bit operating system, and you're trying to load a 64-bit Activex component, you'll get the Activex component can't create object error. Solution ***. Make sure that the bitness of your application matches the bitness of the Activex component. If possible, use a 64-bit version of the application or find a 32-bit version of the Activex component. If you absolutely need to use a 32-bit application with a 64-bit component, it will generally require creating a COM surrogate process, more advanced and beyond the scope of this basic tutorial. However, it's usually best to avoid this situation if possible. Code example, vbscript, checking bitness and displaying information. Important considerations ***. Cleanliness ***. Always try to start with a clean slate. Uninstall any previous versions of the Activex component or the application that's using it before reinstalling. Administrator privileges ***. Most of these steps require administrator privileges. Security risks ***. Be cautious when disabling security features like UAC or DEP. Component source ***. Only download Activex components from trusted sources. Untrusted components can contain malicious code. Documentation ***. Consult the documentation for the Activex component or the application that's using it for any specific troubleshooting steps or requirements. Testing ***. After making any changes, thoroughly test the application to ensure that the error is resolved and that everything is working as expected. System restore ***. Create a system restore point before making significant changes to your system. This will allow you to revert to a previous state if something goes wrong. By systematically following these steps, you should be able to diagnose and resolve the Activex component can't create object error in most cases. Remember to be patient, methodical, and to document the steps you take so that you can retrace your steps if necessary. Good luck.